Hey, how you doing? It's Dan at Kent Boot Camps, and you can see over my shoulder here, you've got Steve working away on his laptop. Last week, we talked about the inner unit, and we talked about the abdominals and common faults that we get when the inner abdominals, which are the muscles that stabilize the pelvis, are a little bit weak. This week, we're going to be talking about the outer unit, which are the muscles which move the body and give us, move the torso. This week we're going to give you some exercises and how we can correct some faults on the outer unit. And as you can see from Steve's lovely posture, most of us sit down at a desk all week and laptops and all the rest of it, and you can see what that's doing to his spine. Oh, it's not very good. And then we come to boot camp and it's almost a nightmare. So anyway, take it away, Steve. Steve's going to take us through some easy exercises to help strengthen our outer unit, which is the muscles that turn the body, move the body.
Okay, so last week we talked about stability, and now we've got an inner unit and an outer unit. Well, this week we're going to talk about this outer unit. Okay, so what comprises of this abdominal wall? So we've got your rectus abdominis that attaches underneath the ribs here and attaches to the pelvis, and when this is anchored, then it will assist in drawing the leg up, or when the legs are anchored, it will assist in doing this kind of crunch position by pulling the ribs forward. On the side, we've got your external obliques, which sit on the outside of the ribs and attach to the pelvis, and then we've got an important muscle, your internal oblique, which runs round the back and attaches into something called your thoracolumbar fascia, which provides that stability with the inner unit, what we spoke about last week. Now, what do these muscles do? Primarily, the rectus abdominis does the crunch position, the external oblique rotates to the opposite side with the internal oblique on that side, and vice versa on the other side. Now, in that sitting posture, what we've just seen, as I sit down, then we've got something called kyphosis, or a rounding of the spine, and what the neck has to do, the head has to be pushed forward, and then we end up with a forward head posture. These big muscles are drawing the head forward as we extend through the neck. Okay, so what do we lose? Well, we lose rotation in the thoracic spine, because as we are drawn forward, we can't rotate then. So we see people turning up in the boot camp and they struggle with rotation exercises. So what do you need to do to get this spine in alignment that's going to allow you to use this external oblique and this internal oblique to give you that rotation? Well, firstly, you need to stretch out the tight muscles. So the tight muscles would be your pecs, it would be your neck, it would be upper fibers of trapezius. All these muscles become short and tight, and then once we lengthen out, we can get an optimal alignment. We can get this shoulder in line with the hip all the way down to the ankle, and then you're in a prime position to do these exercises. What exercises can you do at home? Well, we can do simple exercises like coming down into the flank position, getting everything in line, and what we want to do from there is we want to tuck under in the lower back to allow you to rotate through that thoracic spine. So this is a prone rotation. If we wanted to get into other muscles that attach to the shoulder blade, we could do it with a bent arm. You can also use your lower body or your lower limbs to create that rotation, which is going to allow the back to come in a safe position where you can get the back of the head, the thoracic spine and the lower back in line, and then you can rotate the knees to the side. So this is called a Russian twist. You need to keep the feet in line with the knees in line with the hips, and we rotate. So this external oblique is going to work with this internal oblique as we come over to the side, and full range would be there. Try and look the other way, so we get the rotation through the neck, and then we come over to the side.
Wicked. Great stuff. How many reps would you do?
So I would aim for sets of 12, so you need to get some muscle endurance. Whenever you're starting a core exercise program, you need to get the endurance into the muscles, and then we can start tweaking, lengthening the levers, start to add weight and things like that. So first thing, get your posture right, get your ergonomics set up at work properly. The middle of the screen needs to be parallel with your eyes, 90 degrees at the hips, so you're sitting up in line. If you can't do that, definitely stretch out your pecs to get yourself in optimal alignment, and then start to work on this thoracic rotation. Last thing you need is loads of crunchies after sitting with a rounded spine. Nothing wrong with crunchies, we do crunchies in the boot camp, but what we need is optimal alignment with this sagittal plane, with this transverse plane, through these muscles in the side of the abdomen.
Wicked.
Strong and stable.
Sweet.